Today we will learn about bar graph. In the previous video, we learned what is a pictograph and how is it drawn. Let's review it by using an interesting example. Suppose Rahul went to a shop and bought a book worth rupees 80, a notebook for rupees 18, and a chocolate for rupees 2. Will you be able to prepare a pictograph based on the information provided? Pause the video and try yourself. While drawing the pictograph based on the given situation, you must have experienced some difficulties. Like, what should be the value of the symbol? If you take the value of the symbol a small number, such as rupees 5, then you will find it easier to denote rupees 2 and rupees 18. But you will face difficulty while drawing many symbols to represent rupees 80. And if you take the value of the symbol a larger number, such as rupees 40, then you will easily be able to represent rupees 80. But you will face difficulty while representing rupees 2 and rupees 18. To overcome many such difficulties, we use bar graph. The bar graph for the given situation will be shown as follows. This bar graph shows the amount Rahul spent on various items. The bar graph has two axes, that is, the horizontal x-axis and the vertical y-axis. Here, the name of the objects is shown on the horizontal axis and the numerals on the vertical axis, which represent the value of the object. Here, the scale is 1 unit equals rupees 10. This means that 1 unit of length is for rupees 10. To show the value of the objects, bars of uniform width are drawn vertically with equal spacing, uniform distance between them. These are called bars. It is not necessary that the bar graph should be vertical. Instead, by interchanging the positions of the horizontal x-axis and the vertical y-axis, we can also show the bar graph horizontally. The length of the bar represents the given number. Like here, we can say that the first bar denotes the value of the book as rupees 80. The second bar denotes the value of the notebook as rupees 18, while the third bar denotes the value of the chocolate as rupees 2. Thus, we can say that the graphical method of representing the data where bars of uniform width are drawn horizontally or vertically with equal spacing between them, and the length of each bar represents the given number is called a bar diagram or a bar graph. Just think, what all information you can collect from a bar graph. Absolutely right. With the help of a bar graph, we can obtain different types of information. For instance, to find the number, to compare, etc. Today we learned about bar graph. In the next video, we will learn how to draw a bar graph. Today we will learn how to draw a bar graph. We will learn with the help of an example. Suppose the following table was prepared to find the most preferred spot based on the choice of students in a class. Let's represent these figures in the bar graph. Although we can draw bar graphs on blank paper, the use of graph paper makes it more convenient. Let us use graph paper. Step 1. On a piece of paper, draw two perpendicular lines where line OX is a horizontal line and line OY is a vertical line. Step 2. Along the horizontal line, we will write the names of the spots mentioned in the table, keeping uniform distance, and write sports under it. In this way, we will show the sports on the horizontal line. Similarly, along the vertical line, we will mark the corresponding number of students. Step 3. Next, we will choose suitable scale along the vertical line. Here, 1 unit length represents 5 students. Therefore, we will choose the scale as 1 unit length is equal to 5 students. You can choose a suitable scale based on the number such that if the number of students is very less, then you can take 1 unit length is equal to 1 student. Similarly, if the number of students are large, then you can take 1 unit length is equal to 10 students. Remember, the scale provides us with the convenience to draw a bar graph. Since we have taken the scale 1 unit length is equal to 5 students, we mark multiples of 5 along the vertical line to represent the scale as 1 unit length is 5 students. The length of 2 units represent 10 students. Therefore, the number of students can be calculated by 5 multiplied by number of units. With this, we can also find the number of units by dividing the number of students by 5, which is the length of the bar. Step 4. So, let's find the length of the bars. Cricket, 20 divided by 5 is equal to 4 units. Football, 15 divided by 5 is equal to 3 units. Kabaddi, 25 divided by 5 is equal to 5 units. Tennis, 10 divided by 5 is equal to 2 units. Step 5. Now we will draw the bars of uniform width for different sports at a uniform distance. For instance, for cricket, we will draw a bar of 4 unit length. Next, for football, we will draw a 3 unit length bar of the same width, keeping uniform distance. Can you tell us how will we draw a bar for Kabaddi? Think for a while. Absolutely right. Once again, we will draw a 5 unit length bar of same width, keeping a uniform gap between them. Similarly, for tennis, we will draw a bar of 2 unit length. This is how we obtain a bar graph. Remember, it is not necessary that a bar graph has to be vertical. Same data can be represented by interchanging positions of games and number of students. We can also show the bar graph horizontally. Looking at this bar graph, one can easily tell that Kabaddi is the most preferred sport in the class. Although we can draw a bar graph on a blank paper, the use of a graph paper provides convenience to draw a bar graph. Will you be able to illustrate this data using a bar graph on a graph paper? Try yourself. Today we learned how to draw a bar graph. In the next video, we will see some examples related to bar graph. Today we will see some examples related to bar graph. A bar graph is shown below. This graph refers to the sale of apples made by a fruit seller from Monday to Saturday. Read the graph and answer the following questions. First question. 1. What is the scale of this bar graph? We observe that here the scale is 1 unit length is equal to 1 kg. Second question. On which day were the maximum number of apples sold? In the given bar graph, we observe that the bar on Thursday is the longest. So we can conclude that the highest sale of apples were made on Thursday. Third question. How many kilos of apples did the fruit merchant sell on Monday and Tuesday? Monday is marked by 9 unit lengths of a bar and Tuesday by 10 units. Here we are given the scale 1 unit length is equal to 1 kg apples, which means 9 kgs of apples were sold on Monday and 10 kgs on Tuesday. To calculate the total sale made on Monday and Tuesday, we will add the total sale made on both days, which will result in 19 kgs. From this, we can infer that the fruit merchant sold 19 kgs of apples on Monday and Tuesday. Next example. Following table shows marks obtained by Arnav from class 6 to 10 in percentage. Draw a bar graph to represent the following information, choosing the scale of your choice. Step 1. On a piece of paper, draw two perpendicular lines where line OX is a horizontal line and line OY is a vertical line. Step 2. Along the horizontal line, we will mark the class and along the vertical line, mark the corresponding marks. Step 3. Next, we will choose a suitable scale along the vertical line. Here, 1 unit length represents 10%. Therefore, we will choose the scale as 1 unit length is equal to 10%. Step 4. Next, we will find the length of the bars. For class 6, length of the bar will be 60 divided by 10 is equal to 6 units. In the same way, we can find the length of the bar for class 7, class 8, class 9 and class 10. Step 5. Now we will draw bars of uniform width for different classes at a uniform distance. For instance, for class 6, we will draw a bar of 6 unit length. Next, for class 7, we will draw a 7 unit length bar of same width, keeping uniform distance. Similarly, for class 8, we will draw a bar of 7 unit length. Now, can you tell how will we draw a bar for class 9? Think for a while. You are absolutely right. 7.5 means 7 full units and 0.5 units means 5 parts out of 10 parts of 1 unit. Therefore, for class 9, we will draw a bar of 7.5 unit length in this way. In the same way, we will draw a bar of 8 unit length for class 10. Thus, we have obtained the bar graph for the given information. Today we saw some examples related to bar graph. In the next video, we will see some misconceptions and common mistakes related to this. Today we will see some misconceptions and common mistakes related to bar graph. Misconception 1. Find out which of the following is a bar graph? Here, the bars drawn in figure 1 are horizontal and the bars drawn in figure 2 are vertical. Some students believe that a bar graph can only be drawn vertically, not horizontally. Due to this misconception, they believe that figure 1 is not a bar graph. Instead, figure 2 is a bar graph. With this understanding, they choose option 1 as their answer to the given question, but this is an incorrect answer. The correct understanding is that in a bar graph, bars can be drawn either vertically or horizontally. Therefore, a bar graph is shown in both figures. Thus, option 2 is the correct answer. Misconception 2. A bar graph is given below. This graph shows average rainfall experienced in a village between the months of June and September. Read this graph and find out how much rain did the village receive in the month of September. Some students ignore the unit given in the bar graph and answer by counting only the box. Like here, they obtain the answer 9 mm, which is a wrong answer. Hence, option 1 is the incorrect answer. The correct understanding is that it is important to pay attention as to what scale is chosen when receiving information from the bar graph. For instance, here 1 unit is equal to 100 mm, meaning 1 unit length represents 100 mm rain. The height of the bar for September is 9 units, which means the month of September received 9 multiplied by 100 mm is equal to 900 mm rain. Thus, option 2 is the correct answer. Now let us understand some of the mistakes made while drawing a bar graph with the help of an example. Question. Observe the table given below, which shows the total number of TVs sold by a shopkeeper in different years. Choose a scale of your choice and illustrate this data using a bar graph. Mistake 1. Some students fail to choose a suitable scale while choosing the scale of a bar graph. Suppose they try to draw a bar taking 1 unit length is equal to 100 TV. They thus obtain lengths of bar and attempt to draw a bar graph. Even though they succeed to form the bar graph correctly, but due to the length of the bars being too small, they face a lot of difficulty while drawing the bars. Here, we observe that all the numbers of multiples of 10. So, we can take 1 unit length is equal to 10 TV. This will give us the length of the bars. Therefore, in this way, we can easily draw a bar graph. Mistake 2. Some students fail to label the horizontal line and vertical line of the bar graph. Similarly, they fail to write scale. Apparently, they do not consider it important enough to label the lines or write the scale, or they simply forget to write them. Due to such simple mistakes, it becomes difficult to obtain the desired information from a bar graph. Therefore, it is necessary to show the scale on the bar graph as well as the proper names of what is being taken on the horizontal and vertical lines. Mistake 3. Some students fail to maintain a uniform width while drawing a bar. Similarly, some students fail to keep a uniform distance between the bars. We should keep in mind that the bars are of uniform width and that there is a uniform distance between the bars. Today we saw some misconceptions and common mistakes related to a bar graph.